but nobody can seriously come out and say anyone else deserved to win that game other than Newcastle.
No.
So, and I'm not even willing to entertain anyone that says otherwise. I'll be honest. I'll just say you're clueless. You're just either salty as hell, or just give over, man. Is what I have said to a few people. Just give over.
Yeah,
just come
100%.
on. But yeah, like, I've got to be honest on the atmosphere thing, because I was in the Strawberry, and I've got to say, by the way, that is by far, so far, the best place I've ever watched a match that I haven't been at. So I go to all the home games. I have been down to Wembley in the 90s. I didn't obviously go this year. However, I will touch on this very quickly. Me and Donna kind of had the chance to go at the very last minute, and we had a very sensible conversation about whether we should, after we'd already cancelled the hotel, which I'd had booked since the back end of goddamn November, because I'd cancelled it thinking I wasn't getting the ballot and all this. And then through work, so I work for a company that sponsors Wembley. I'll leave it at that. And then, but yeah, like, it was like two and a half days before. I say 2.5 days because literally, obviously, if we're going by hours here. And we were like, hang on, because obviously the hype went up, like, oh, hang on, can we go? So we were like, right. And we're texting. I was like, ringers. I was like, hang on, we need to have a conversation here. We need to do this sensibly. Like, A, what's the logistics now? B, I wasn't bothered about the ticket price. It was going to be about 200 quid each. Fine, would have paid that happily.
That's fine.
But the clincher for me was the only tickets available that you won't be surprised to hear are either with the Liverpool fans, obviously wouldn't happen, or otherwise in the neutral area. However, in the neutral area where you weren't allowed to wear your colours, you weren't allowed to sing or anything like that. Now, I like a good sing, hence the reason my voice is broken right now. Most fans do. And we were like, hang on, are we really going to spend God knows how many hundreds of pounds? Probably be very drunk. Then end up in a neutral section where, well, she went 2 years ago, Donna, by the way, and she took her jacket off at some point, and some woman came across to her and said, put that back on. If you take it back off, you're getting kicked out. And I thought to myself, I don't want that. That to me is not an experience. I would have happily paid the money and been in the Newcastle fans, and but a drop of a hat, me and Donna would have been there. But you know what? I had such an amazing day in the Strawberry. I don't care that I wasn't at Wembley. And people are like, oh, it's easy to say that. Well, yeah, actually, it is easy to say that because I could have been there. So yeah, actually, I can say that. And if you know what I mean? I couldn't hear any of our fans, by the way, because what's great about the Strawberry and what would have happened in a lot of other pubs, we sang throughout the entire game. It was like being at a match. We were watching on the TV, but we sang throughout the entire game, and it was just the best. When Dan scored right before half-time, it was beautiful, because obviously the half-time whistle went, everyone just piled out into the street, everyone's jumping all over each other, hugging each other.